Are you still a member?
Oh, I know what I was going to say. There was Genesis. They were starting Genesis, and I thought, oh,
It's a good place.
Genesis, that's the beginning. That's a great start. So I started in Genesis, and I just loved it. So I kept going on. But first of all, I was there, and then I wasn't there very long, and my leader said, Bobbie, would you be a leader for me? And I said, well, I guess so. I don't know. I'll try. I wasn't sure. She said, well, ask your husband. So I asked my husband, and he said, oh, you could do that. You can do that. So I told her, I can do that. So I started, and I've been there for 43 years. But what it tells about was that this BSF study is only a study, but they tell us we have to have a church. We have to have a church. So I thought, okay, where am I going to find a church? And I was working in Lamont in the sports department with Jerry Anderson.
Our Jerry Anderson?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And she told me, she says, I've got the best pastor. And I thought, oh, that sounds good. And I told my husband, and my husband knew Jerry, and he said, yeah, let's go see it. So we went to see it, and we looked at it, and with Dr. Bill, and we thought Dr. Bill was good. And I said, okay, let's take this church.
Is that Dr. Bill Ellington?
Yes,
pastor?
that was it.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't know his last name. Yeah.
Okay.
And so we went to this church.
Bobbie, you found your church at Bobbie United Methodist Church. Can you tell us a few things about what you actually did? Some of the projects and the missions that you participated in.
We found the mission program, and so we heard that the church was going to have to take a Korean family.
A Korean family?
And they had to leave that place because they were in trouble. I don't know exactly what it was, but it was in trouble. And their son was a captain of a big boat. And so they got their family, a large family, and they got the boat secretly out, and their daughter brought her fiance on her boat too. Mm-hmm. And so they came to San Francisco. And then, I think, no, I'm not sure. We went to California anyway. And then they came up to our church. And so they found a house for them. But then we got to where we used to have all kind of things that they need. And there was a lot of things that they needed for their furniture, a lot of furniture. So we brought a lot of furniture to them, and other things. And then she was going to get her wedding. She planned her wedding in our church. So I made her outfits, her wedding gown, and it was a lovely church, a lovely wedding for her.
Besides the program ministry associated with the Korean family, did you participate in any fellowship with any of the other members of the church?
Yes, we did. Dr. Bill told us about Horace Pearson, yes, that he had a group of Bible study people, and we had 5 couples, and he had it every week at his house. And so we went there, and we went there for many times, and we just loved it. And it was a wonderful way to find people from our church to get to know them, because you don't get to know them when you just go to church and go back and go home, and that's it.
That's right.
You have to get to with something else, with somebody in the church, and that's when studying the Bible is the best thing.
And this now was your church home. During that period, can you tell me more about your husband and what happened during that period?
Well, he had cancer of his lungs, And so, and actually only 3 months, he was gone. So I was glad for that, because other people have lasted a long time and really have suffered.
Yes.
But he went very quickly.
And this has been your church home during that period as well?
They were so good to me. That people there took food at the church, at the service, yeah. And they were just wonderful, yeah.
Yes.
They were very good.
Your closest family?
Yes,
Yes.
yes. We had the food in the fellowship.
Bobbie, you found a wonderful church family, a church home at Bothell. You and your husband enjoyed many years together. He unfortunately passed on in 1977. You remained a very strong church member after his passing. Sometime towards the year 2000, you faced yet another deep tragedy. Can you tell us about that?
It's my son, Terry.
Okay.
And he was driving a brand new Cadillac to Denver, and somehow or other at 10 o'clock in the morning, I don't know what happened to the car, but it went out crashed. He went out through the windshield. The windshield,
Yes.
yes. And he was killed right away. So actually, I'm kind of glad that my daughter went quick, and my son went quick.
Oh.
So that was good.
Yes. Recently, you told me that you likened your life a little bit to the life of Moses. Do you reflect on that? Can you reflect on that and what you meant by that?
Yes, I do, because we were studying Moses, and it was all those 4 last, not Genesis, but the other 4, and it ended up with Deuteronomy. And Moses said to his people, I have 120 and I can't lead anymore. And so when we had our leaders, which were 50 of them, and I said to them, I said, I am 89 and I can't lead anymore either. So I left that part, but I stayed with Revelation because I wanted that so badly. And I stayed and learned that.
So when you say you left leadership of
Later, as a leader, yes.
Of the BSF?
Yes.
Okay.
But I was still with BSF. I was learning Revelation because they had never done that, and I wanted to hear it.
Yes.
I wanted to learn it.
And how much after that did you move then on to?
That's when I found out that I was 91 and I cannot get my house anymore. I had a townhouse that I'd been there for 26 years, and I loved it, but I could not stay it. I knew I couldn't do anything that I wanted to do. I couldn't even hardly carry my groceries in. So my grandson, who came over from Denver just to be over by me, and he said, and I told him, I said, I can't come. I can't keep my house. He said, come on over here. So I did. I went over there.
Port Orchard?
Port Orchard. And he has a lovely home. And he had an upper room stair, upper room of this nice big bedroom up there. And so I moved my furniture, not very many furniture, mostly wicker. And I really changed my colors because my bedroom was all in pink for 36 years. And so I took the pink out, and I got pale green and pale blue with ivory, and I love it. And God help me. You
called this place where you live now your upper room?
Yes.
That's very interesting.
I tell everybody, because it's easy to tell people because I'm living with my grandson, that I live the upper room with Jesus.
There was something that your son gave you, and I'd like to hear about that. I think it's special.
He brought over from Denver a brand new Chrysler 9091 of New York, Fifth Avenue, and he gave it to me. And I didn't know it because the door was the bell was ringing, and I was upstairs and I went down to see it, and there's my son was there standing there. He said, "Mom, come see your new car." So I look at it and I thought, oh no. But anyhow,
How long did you drive that car?
I drove it for 25 years. And I took very good care of it. I took service of it all the time, and I always washed it myself. And it's always in my garage. It was never outside. And it had 6,500,000 miles on it.
65,000 miles?
Yeah,
on it?
65,000 miles on it. My daughter's best friend in Alaska wanted to buy it from me. And I wanted her to have it because I knew she would take good care of it. In fact, she did. She bought it. And she took it down to Chrysler, and she says, "Oh," she said, "they sure know you down there." But she was pleased to get it. She has it now.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Bobbie, going forward, I'm wondering if you could leave us any words of wisdom for the direction of the church and those that you feel most important in your life.
The first one was when my daughter was killed, and he said to me, verses 8:28, "God works all things for good." And I thought, ooh, that's good. That's a good one. So, but I used it all the time.
Yes.
Yeah. There's more, but that's the main part of it. Is that?
Is there another one that you
Yes,
wanted
there
to share?
is. That's John 14:6, and I can know that one. "I am the way, the truth, and the life. Nobody from the Father comes to the Father but through me," through Jesus. And I have told that to so many people in Bible studies, and even right here in this room, that I've told people about Jesus. When you want, if you get the Father, you have to go through Jesus. You can't call him a father unless you got through Jesus. Only Jesus. That's a very promise on that.
Bobbie, is there a third verse that you'd like to share with us?
Yes, there is. It's 2 Timothy 3:16. "All Scripture is God-breathed and useful for teaching, rebuking, correcting, and training in righteousness." And I just feel like that when God told me, read your Bible, this is what he's talking about. His scriptures is God has breathed that and teaches and rebukes and correcting us and training us
Yes.
in righteousness.
Yes. Thank you. Bobbie, I know how incredibly important the Bible is in your life. You've had many Bibles, you've given many away. We have one here today that we're filming, but you've offered up one of your favorite messages or sayings as part of your study of the Bible. Could you share that message with us?
Yes, I would love to say it. It is humility is when you're not aware of it.
Good. Thank you
Just
very much.
think about that.
Yes, yes. And the Bible that we are looking at right now, you gave to one of our church members, Judy Thayer.
Yes.
Yes. And she carries it with her every Wednesday when she comes to Bible study. And can you tell us a little bit about what you write in there?
Well, I've had it a long time, so I don't know. She asked me for it, but I didn't know she was going to do that. So I just gave it to her.
Yes.
But I've got a lot of Bibles that have written on them. So now what I do, I have to buy big Bibles, large. And so I'm not writing on them anymore because I've got too many writing on other Bibles.
All right. Bobbie, in reflecting on all you've shared here today, and you've taken quite a trip to come here today, is there anything else that you'd like to say in how you would like to be remembered?
That I was with Jesus, And I would like everybody to know Jesus too.
Bobbie, what is this picture of?
There's a picture of me in the directory, and that was probably about the fifth directory that came back, the faith back.
What is this picture showing?
This is the Philippines, the family. Okay, that's my Chrysler 1971, and I drove it for 25 years. My great children and my great children.
Your
Grandchildren.
and your great-grandchildren.
And my great grandchildren. These are the dads, my dad, my son, and his son. My grandson, and my son, and myself. This is in 1950 at Easter on Hawaii, and my family. This is Kathy's graduation. This is a Kathy reunion, class reunion with my sister and myself. This is the calling girls that the church used as a corps, and we had a wonderful time together, and we laughed and we helped each other